Hello again. Here's another video, a bit of an update yet again about the Hogwarts Express, which I can't seem to leave alone and keep fiddling with. But I think I've finished now, and all the things that I wanted to do with it I'm pretty much done. So hopefully I can get on and make videos about something else. But anyway, here we go. A bit more messing about with the Hogwarts Express. So I've previously talked about how I motorised it and how I fiddled with the driving rods and the coupling rods to get those to be a bit more realistic, and how I put some powered up lights in it. So what I wanted to update on today was work on the carriages and work on the coupling rods and the driving rods again, and some more about lights, more on that later on. So first thing to notice obviously is it now has two carriages, and those carriages are much bigger than the ones that originally come in the set. So I've taken a cue from other people who've extended their carriages. I remember seeing a really good video by GJ Bricks about what he's done with his. I like what he's done there. And I've gone a slightly different route, so I'm just going to take the camera off here and show you what's been happening. So here we've got the carriages. Here's the first carriage that I did, and you can see I've taken a slightly different approach in that rather than adding doors at the end, I thought what might be cool is to add a door in the middle and use one of the old train doors that Lego used to make to do that. And so obviously you can't have the stripe along the door, so what I did was use one of the stickers and put that on the door there. So that's how that one works, and I've still maintained this idea of being able to take the roof off. He says, struggling. There goes the roof. Ooh, there's a bit stuck there. And that once you've taken the roof off, you can take the panels off so that you can get inside, like so. Now what I've had to do is build something a bit more involved in the middle, so rather than having a single panel that comes off, it's got two. So I've built this piece across here so the door still stays fairly stable when you take the sides off. So there we go, a slightly different way of doing the carriage. You might notice as well I've put some lamps in there, more on those later. And we've got a bit more space for our trolley witch in the middle there to stand with her trolley, but otherwise it's pretty much the same as it was before. And rather than having the fixed wheels underneath, it's now got two sets of bogies. So the next carriage I put at the end, I thought, well, I could make another one of these again, but I wanted to do something different. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to kind of have like a guard's compartment at the end, and to have these little windows here that you get on brake vans particularly, so you can look up and down the train. So I've added some of those. And again with one of the old train doors. And what I've done on the inside of here is again a little bit different. Take the lid off. Same again, be able to take the side off. But what I've done is I've got another double seat, but I thought, well, let's have a single seat there. So we've still got the option for having three people seated in the main carriage. And then we've got the guard's compartment at the back, like that. I had to do a bit of fiddling around. I tried this several different ways actually. I tried it one whole brick out, and that looked just a bit too clunky, so what I did was just offset it so it's only half a brick out. And actually this piece comes away so you can see how it's been made. The other thing I wanted to do with this carriage is not only have a light at the front of the train, have a light at the back, so I've filled that in and added a little light at the back. So we get two different things to do with carriages. The other thing to note is the driving rods. They've changed as well. So I always wanted to get these as narrow as possible. I think the first video I made about these, they were 9 wide, so they were offset by half a stud, and I've managed to get them even closer in with yet more fiddling. And now the whole locomotive is only 8 wide, which I'm pretty chuffed about. And I did that by, instead of having a single Technic beam across there, I've actually got two joined together, which are the half width ones, which means I can put that half width piece there, and that goes across like that. Now the other thing to note since the last video is that the tender's got a lot bigger, and the reason it's got a lot bigger is it's got more wires in there. And the reason it's got more wires in there is I've changed the lighting system. When I originally made this, I put powered up lights in it, and I was able to do that and have a light inside the firebox and a light at the front here. And then I thought, well, I kind of want to put some lights inside the carriages if we're going to do that. But the problem there is that powered up lights are pretty chunky. The wires are big, the lights themselves are quite big. If I was going to do anything, it was going to be difficult to try and fit everything in on the inside of the carriages. But the other problem was that with powered up, certainly, you can only have one set of lights on the B port of the hob. So I had filled that B port with lighting up the firebox and the front light of the loco. How was I going to do it on the inside of here? So what I did was I did lots of looking around to see how other people had done it, and came across Light My Bricks, which is an Australian company, and found out that the UK reseller are Elegant Bricks, and started a conversation with Oliver at Elegant Bricks, who was really helpful. Thank you very much, Oliver. I managed to get some kit to do that. You've probably seen these kind of kits. They tend to be really, really small LEDs that will fit underneath Lego bricks. The wires are absolutely tiny. You can probably see some if I just go in there. There's some going between the two carriages. And some more here. So what I've then done is changed it such that we've got Elegant Bricks, or Light My Bricks, as sold to me by Elegant Bricks, inside the train. So it's better in some ways because I don't have to make way for the big chunky powered up cables. These fit quite nicely just between bricks. You've got to be very, very careful how you do it so you get straight runs, and they go through between studs rather than actually on top of studs. But I've managed to do it such that the loco pretty much is as it was built, and the wires go between the bricks there, rather than with powered up where I had to take bricks out and make gaps. So we've got the light at the front and we've got the light in the firebox again. And the other thing I've done, I thought, well, wouldn't it be really cool if rather than having lights on the ceiling inside the carriages, which meant that you wouldn't be able to take these lids off, why don't I put the lights inside the lamps? So these lamps have actually got lights inside them. So if I get the remote control, instead of making strange noises while moving around, here's the remote control. So let's see if this works. We should have some lights coming on. There we go. And we've got the light inside the firebox. I'm not sure you can see that. Here we go. And the light at the front. And of course, I've got to have a light at the back as well. So one thing I would say about these Light My Bricks is they're very nice, but it's reduced the playability of the train. I mean, one of the things is I let my kids play with these trains. It's very much a shared thing, the love of Lego, me and my little boy and my little girl. And moving this train around now has to become a daddy job rather than just let the kids do it. Happy for them to play with it, but it's just really quite delicate, particularly where these connections go between the carriages. So I've just got to be careful there. And it's very fiddly to do it. You do have these connection blocks that you can use between the lights, and that's good. So I can make it modular such that the trains can be taken apart, can be moved apart, but it's not straightforward. It's not as straightforward as, for instance, unplugging and replugging a powered up cable. It's a lot more fiddly. So just got to be careful with that stuff. Now the reason for doing all this was because every year we like to put a little train underneath our Christmas tree. So I'm going to put some additional footage at the end of this video, which is the train going around the Christmas tree, and you'll get to see it in action.